came on my staff, and we went down to the border south of Tucson to see how things were going, and that there was just a wave of human and drug smuggling and criminality coming across that border. And God bless the people of Arizona for trying to do what the federal government has refused to do, and to stem the tide of illegal immigration and the crime that has followed that. And I had made a deal with my wife, at least I made an offer with my wife to go down to Arizona to celebrate our wedding anniversary, and that didn't go over real well, but we are going down to Arizona for a part of our August recess to stand shoulder to shoulder. With the people of Arizona, and to do it in a very public way to encourage all Americans to go down to Arizona for a vacation to support what they're doing and oppose the folks that are trying to boycott the state of Arizona and to choke off their efforts to control the border. One of the things that I think are so important that I see going on, I think that Congressman Tancredo touched on, is just the reckless spending that is going on in the Congress and the growing debt. When Nancy Pelosi took over the House of Representatives in January of 2007, the national debt stood at $8.6 trillion, and today it stands at $13 trillion and growing. And they are literally pushing this nation off of a cliff. And I believe that one of the most important things that we can do is strip the power from the Congress of the United States to continually spend money that they don't have. And this country desperately needs a balanced budget amendment to the United States. I'm calling the first balanced budget amendment Congress in the history of the Congress of the United States. Newt Gingrich came to Capitol Hill yesterday. We did a joint press conference together on the balanced budget amendment. One had passed, came out of the Contract with America, passed in 1995, passed the House in 1997 with the required two-thirds vote, failed in the Senate by one vote. I believe that the American people are so fed up with what's going on with the Congress in the United States and their spending that I believe that after this election coming up in 2011, that we will have another bite at the apple with a balanced budget amendment, and I want to lead that effort in the Congress of the United States. On the direction of this country. We've got to stop Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid, who believe that their work will never be accomplished until every American is either on welfare, forced into a labor union, or works for the government. We've got to stop them in their agenda, and I believe that we can do it in 2010. The press criticizes us for partisanship and often calls us the party of none. Well, I'll tell you this. If voting against an unconstitutional takeover of our healthcare system makes me a member of the party of no, then I am proud to be a member of the party of no. Country deeper and deeper into debt makes me a member of the party of no, then let me be a member of the party of no. Opposing this administration, who believes that protecting the rights of terrorists is more important than protecting the lives of the American people, if opposing that makes me a member of the party of no, then I am honored to be a member of the party of no. During the healthcare debate, a lot of Americans just showed up spontaneously, members of the Tea Party movement, I guess the press calls them, spontaneously rising up actually all across America in opposition to what's going on in this administration. People that truly fear for the future of America, as I do and many of you. And it was interesting during the healthcare debate. I remember going out on, there's and yelling, and they had homemade signs and everything. And Dr. Michelle Coffman was standing beside me from the state of Minnesota, and we were looking out there and the sea of humanity. And there was really, that was what America was really, in my view, all about. And there was just a smattering of people that were there in support of the healthcare bill, and they had these, nice manufactured signs. They were there. I'm sure they're probably part of the SEIU union or something. But the interesting thing was we see this rising all across America. And what I'm reminded of is this. In April 1775, when Americans rose up then, when they had it with the British, and a British expeditionary force was sent out to Lexington and Concord to looking for stockpiles of militia ammunition, and that there had never been before that any instance of armed resistance to the British Army. And then the British had finished their work, and then there's 20 miles distance between Concord and between the city of Boston, for which the British controlled. And this was a 700-man expeditionary force of the British Army. And the executive officer was a major by the name of John Pitcairn of the British Army. And so the first armed resistance was at Lexington, where in fact there was resistance. And so, as word spread, the American colonists grabbed their rifles and just spontaneously rose up and met the British on that road going back from between Concord and Boston, and completely caught them by surprise. And the British suffered 300 casualties on that day, had to be rescued by a larger British force who had been dispatched from Boston. And Major John Pitcairn had been recorded as turning to a subordinate that day and said, "Where did all these people come from?" And on election night, in November of 2010, when the Democrats across this country are losing seat after seat after seat, and Barack Obama is sitting in the White House, and he looks at his subordinate, and he realizes that his drive towards socialism in America has been halted, and his assault on liberty